that's all the time we have. But if you can monitor questions on Swapcard, that'd be great. Let's thank our presenters once again.
Okay, thank you.
So for our next paper, we have Luca Simeone and Riccardo Mantelli, who are presenting the paper titled Pushing Divergence and Promoting Convergence in a Speculative Design Process, Considerations on the Role of AI as a Co-Creation Partner. For the in-person presenters, so all presenters now are in person. I'm going to be holding up these sheets saying you're running out of time, 2 minute and 1 minute one. All right, great.
Yes, pretty well. Can you hear me fine? I have to speak. All right, yeah. Now it's better. Yes, now you can hear me fine. And yeah, thanks for being here. It's so surprising to see many people on the last day of the conference, 9 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, so the good thing of presenting the last day is that we have a lot of new friends here in the audience. And my name is Luca, and I have here Riccardo with me, Riccardo Mantelli, and the third author is online, Alfredo Adamo. And I realized that maybe we also made a mistake here because we didn't list the AI as a co-author. Maybe we should have done that, right? So this is like something that we were wondering yesterday. So. But we've been exploring how AI, a conversational agent, we're just going to call it AI, can be used in a speculative design process in order to push divergent and convergent thinking. So this is more or less what we've been exploring. And yeah, we've been doing that, working together with 136 students from an interaction design course, and the students were asked to work on some speculative design prototypes. So it was like they were working in teams, 5 students and the AI, and the students were conversating with the AI throughout the process. Each group was tasked with their brief was to develop some speculative design prototypes that would represent the future of human-computer interaction. Future of human-computer interaction, speculative design. So before starting our research, we looked into existing studies. There are so many beautiful studies. So if you're interested, just read. It's like a lot of good stuff. However, there's not much that really looks into how this interaction with AI could fuel convergent and divergent thinking. Whilst convergent and divergent thinking is considered important components of design processes. So we decided to look a little bit more into that. Yeah, and as I said, we did that with a 6-month project in which, we run 2 interaction design courses at the bachelor's level. So we were working with this. And typically, the students interacted with the artificial intelligence at 3 stages. First one is an early ideation stage. They didn't really know where to go, so they were just conversating with AI. At some point later on, they maybe already chose a specific topic. Oh, yeah, well, we want to work with healthcare. But they didn't know exactly in which direction, which creative direction to go. And so they, were, trying to seek help of the AI in order to narrow down and converge on a specific idea. And finally, at the later stage, when the students already knew that, okay, this is the creative idea, this is what we want to do, they were using the AI as a support in creating creative bits to represent their idea.
Yeah, for the technical architecture, we write all in JavaScript and Python. The system is emerged from an assemblage of 2 different environments. In one side, we have a deep learning algorithm, an LSTM used inside the JavaScript library for processing called ML5JS. This side of algorithms were chosen to give the students the possibility to brainstorm with the AI and customize the user interface. The GPT-2 algorithm was trained on the task of language modeling, which tests the program's ability to predict the next word in a given sentence. In the specific case of the AI used in our experiment, the corpus was composed of a variety of text coming from books, newspapers, spoken speech, and blog entries, but the corpus was partially preloaded by us, initially with all the students work with the same language models, and afterward each student's team could add further text to the corpus. Among the texts that we preloaded in the system, there were experimental literary words such Queneau, 100,000 billion poems, Stéphane Mallarmé, a painter's poet, and Georges Perec, Species of Space. And we use this kind of of text, also some Dadaist text to create the basic corpus and to do the possibility to find a creative way to generate text to the algorithm.
Yes, thanks, Riccardo. And yeah, so as Riccardo was saying, the corpus was like, on the one hand, we just fed the AI with this literary text. So it was like, literature potentielle, Calvino, Mallarmé. I don't know if you're familiar with these writers. It's really fun, it's like this kind of collage or assemblage of text. And on the other hand, so this was the core corpus. And then the students could feed the AI when they knew that they wanted to explore a topic, right? So they say, oh, you know what, we want to work with astrology. So they would feed a lot of additional text to the AI. Yeah, so this is now I'm going to show 3 examples in which the AI talks to the students. And this is indeed a case in which the students were at the very initial stage. However, they thought that they would want to explore how astrology could affect the functioning of algorithms. So this was the idea. Is it possible to imagine that the alignment of stars could have an effect on the algorithm? And so they asked the AI, I'm going to translate, this is in Italian. It's like, the students asked, what is your relation with the sky? Sky in Italian, cielo means sky, but also heaven. What is your relation with sky? And this is what the AI says. It says, what is the sky? And then what that means? It is something that doesn't belong to the body. I feel an inner nature connected with the sky. So this is the way in which the AI expressed itself. And the students thought that this interaction fueled divergent thinking, because it was like this sort of distinctively non-human logic, kind of eerie, but also it's not completely random. It makes sense. So it's like, that's why it's eerie, because it's not random. It has some elements of randomness, but it's not completely random. And so one of the students said, using the algorithm expanded our brainstorming. It has inspired us and has provided new directions in the design phase. This is another example, and here the students already knew that they wanted to explore new forms of human-computer interaction mediated by AI. So they already knew that this is the theme, the topic that we want to work on. However, they did not know what specific form this interaction should take. They started arguing, we should go this way, and others said, no, we should go this other way. This is, what students do. And so they kind of started to interact with the AI. And this is what the AI says. So the students ask, how to improve the interaction among us? This was the students asking. And the AI said, I listen, I listen, I listen. Like in a forest, the sound and light envelop you. The sun follows. So this is like what I said. So the students, yeah. So the students were quite intrigued, and I said like, yeah, maybe sound and light. Maybe this could be something we can converge on. And so interestingly, here was like that this kind of like interaction with AI helped the student kind of narrow down their like, creative directions, and indeed they focused on this specific one. And this is the final example, and this is a later stage. So here the students already knew that they had this future in mind in which increasingly autonomous AIs have come to recognize the similarity. Increasingly autonomous AI have come to recognize the similarity between their work, that's carried out continuously, these algorithms always work night and day without a break, and the repetitive and alienating work of the factory workers on an assembly line. So this is like, the stage, right? So algorithms are like, the workers on an assembly line. So the students started feeding the AI with political slogans from the 30s, 40s, and the 50s. And then the AI generated its own slogans. I'm going to read some of them. The most tyranny, social networks. Organization is our need. We are given, it is ours. Don't silence our change. Fight for the gap between. So it's interesting, they're like, political slogans that the AI is using in order to affirm its own rights in this new age. So in this stage, we are at a later phase, and the students already knew that they had a creative direction, and so the AI was working here more of a co-creation partner. So it was providing some creative bits, creative elements that could be used in the final prototypes. So we thought that this was really fascinating, how the students work with the AI in different ways, at different like stages of the process, in relation to like really, on the one hand, suggesting multiple interpretive directions and divergent thinking, and on the other hand, in like promoting ways to converge. So it was always like this oscillation between like divergent thinking and convergent thinking. We believe that this was possible precisely because it's like the way in which the AI expressed itself was this kind of ambiguous, suggestive, evocative, poetic way, right? And in this sense, we find this quite fascinating, and also, I think, a quite nice integration to the previous paper, because also the previous paper was like about text generation. However, I believe that, and actually we also use similar technical architectures. It's just that the corpus that we fed was completely different, and so also the interaction that the students had was completely different. Yeah, I think that's it for now. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Any questions from the floor?
When you ask the question, can you maybe introduce yourself, your name and your affiliation?
Sure. Hi, Peter Koon, IT University of Copenhagen, previously AAU colleague of Luca. So if we are looking at AI as automating something, what would you say? What has been automated here?
Can you repeat the question for the benefit of the online viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the people online, the question was if we conceive AI as a system to automate some processes, what kind of processes were automated here? And I'm not really sure that these, really automated processes. I'm not really sure that these streamlined processes probably it introduces complexity, but we believe that this complexity also enriched the design process. So yeah, this is an answer, not answer. Sorry about that.
Ambiguous as an AI.
Yeah.
I think we have time for one question, very quickly.
We have
From online, sorry. Yeah.
Maybe, I'm not sure whether this is a question, but Stella Booth, she makes some comment. So this presentation makes me think Mr. Chance, the gardener, Peter Sellers' movie was actually a depiction of how an AI would answer. Right. Yeah, that's her comment or the question to you. Any comment on that? Yeah.
I mean, I think she's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's another general question, but I will keep it for later. So yeah.
Okay. Maybe just to keep things moving, because we have 3 more presentations, let's thank our speaker again. Next speaker is Peter Kuhn, who will be presenting a paper titled Exploring Diversity Perception.